Wayne Wonder. I'll be on Overall Settings Podcast. So come check me out, check us out. We'll be all over. No letting go, no holding back. Saddest day of
No one is able to take your call at this time, but please leave a comment after streaming Project CEO, available on all online platforms. This is a message from iWad Nation.
Peeps, wagwan. See boy Fico settings. You know what I'm saying? I'm there right now for review an album that I've had on repeat for probably about the last 3 days. You know what I mean? I've been listening to this album and a couple tracks on it jumped out at me. Overall, I feel like it's a complete body of music, all courtesy of the iWad Music LLC, done by, ironically, the CEO of this group. I think the inspiration behind it, is that this gentleman has been on the music scene for quite a while. You know what I mean? He was actually born, to one of the singers of a long-time group back in Jamaica, the Chantels, you know what I mean, who had a couple of hits under their belt. They tragically disbanded, before they could actually rise to stardom. But Chris, being, the son of one of those singers, decided to carry on the tradition from very early. You know what I mean? Sparring with the likes of like Beanie Man and, Shaka Pow and, a couple other artists, from back in them time there. His aspirations to not only to do good music, follow them to the States, you know what I mean, and then ultimately, he started to dabble in the business side of things, which is, a tribute to the CEO being added to his name. You know what I'm saying? He went on to start, a couple music ventures that did relatively well. You know what I mean? He's been behind the scenes of a lot of things that you guys have probably heard and probably haven't made the connection that he was the one involved. There's a lot of things that goes on behind the music scenes that, unless you're intricately involved in what goes on, you just really don't know, especially as a consumer. But Chris has worked with some of the giants in the business, and some upcoming artists as well, always giving somebody the opportunity to, further their horizons when it comes to music. It can be a bit, disheartening when you put your all into an artist, who may be talented, but, they just don't have, the business etiquette or even the devotion to, put forth the effort to basically, go the full 100, which would lead us to the old saying that sometimes, in some instances, when you want something done, you basically have to do it yourself. So as I said, this artist started to venture back into the music, from an artist standpoint, having the business savvy, having the ear for what people wanted to hear. So ultimately, it became what we're sitting here talking about today, which is Project CEO. His first album, first complete album, first body of music. And as I said, I've been listening to it for the past couple days, and it's a phenomenal piece of work. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna do my best to give my honest opinion. This particular album, Project CEO, consists of 15 tracks, including, the intro, which is basically, a voicemail stating, what you're going to be witnessing. It's a female voice, answering on the answer machine, basically telling whoever's calling, that nobody's available at the moment, but get back to us after you stream this particular project, which I think was pretty clever, way to intro the album. Which shows you that the executive producers were thinking. They it wasn't just something that they threw together. They opened up the album with track number 1, which is actually track number 2, entitled Quick, where Chris poses the question to the listening audience: have you ever been lucky enough to meet that one girl that makes all the difference? And then basically he proceeds to speak to a young lady, or speak about a young lady that he's smitten by. And the hook basically embodies everything that you're hearing in the verses, which basically states he fall for her quick. So, to the people who didn't understand the Jamaican dialect, he fell for her quick. And that's basically what the song embodies. It's entitled Quick. Very good way to start the album. Production tight, like, trust me, me really have a deep appreciation for the instrumentation, the delivery over the track. The second track, Movie. It probably should be entitled Blue Movie, for some of the things that he's saying in the track. He gets right to the point. Not necessarily, one of my favorite tracks on the album, but it's definitely, listenable. I can listen to it. For those of you who don't like strong language, it might be, a bit cringy, because like I said, he's blunt and right to the point, basically saying, that he'll F you like they do in the movies. Which leads us into the next track, which is Khaki. Even though this one is like a sexually driven track as well, I feel like there was a lot more thought put into the delivery. It's very witty. It gives me almost like a squash type of feel, the production aspect of it. Like in that vein, kind of like the trap dance hall, modern day dance hall feel, and like I said, the lyrics are very witty, very clever, the way that he presents, what he's saying over the track, definitely a good track, one of the standout tracks, for the people who, like I said, like the sexually driven type of tracks. And like I said, production is definitely A1 because it goes along the lines of what is being played out there right now. One of the standout tracks is the next track, which to me is one of the better tracks, if not my favorite track on this particular body of music, and it's called So Amazing, featuring Good Girl Alicia. It gives you like that Afrobeat feel in the vein of, like I said, the direction that the music is going in right now. It's a feel good type of song, very enlightening and uplifting. It's feel good music, and like I said, it's in the vein of Afrobeat, and definitely along the lines of, the popular music that's out there right now. Another one of my favorites is Full Time Partner, featuring the artist Jodian. You know what I mean? This is definitely a standout track for me. More or less talking about a girl that's not looking for, the sugar daddy type thing, or, a man where just a dash money pan her. She definitely wants a full-time partner, a man who's willing to put in the time, it takes to keep a relationship going. You know what I'm saying? It's a girl where have some substance and she wants something with substance as well. So, like I said, that's a song with a message. One of, the better tracks on the album from my standpoint. Like it's a standout to me. I love it. Closer, featuring the likes of G Mafia. Very good song. Can definitely fit into a dancehall juggling, So, is G Mafia bad artist. I've heard about him on a few tracks, He delivers on this track. Definitely hits home with some heavy hitting lyrics. His voice complements, the CEO very well on these tracks. Production is A1. Home Alone is another track that basically speaks for it. The title speaks for itself. Basically, Chris being home alone, you know what I'm saying, and yearning for that significant other, you know what I'm saying. So tough track. Shaka Pow is featured on Out of My Head. Once again, it's Chris, giving his ode to the ladies and his affection for them in a collaboration with Shaka Paul, who, is known for that as well. So these two artists complement each other on this track. Definitely, a good track for listen. I listen it couple time well, cause I'm a Shaka Paul fan. I've worked with him in the past, what I'm saying, produced some music for him, and he's been on the platform as well. So I definitely like hearing them together on this particular track. BBG. Yeah, Chris na easy, people. You know what I'm saying? He definitely is all about the ladies on this particular project, showing his love for the ladies and their anatomy on this particular track, because BBG stands for Big Body Gal. Which he definitely has a love for the big body gal them, and he shows it on this particular track. And it's been done in the past. It's been successful by many reggae artists and other artists as well. You know what I'm saying? I can't think of, I think it was Daddy Lizard or somebody in another era there where they do a song called Big Body Girl. And I don't know if that was the inspiration behind this particular track, but once again, I'm saying, the production on this one was A1 as well. I say, She's Perfect is a song that I heard prior to, when it was mixed. Um, the sonic quality of this album is well put together. I'm under the impression, based on what I've seen in the credits, that Chris was hands on in every aspect of this album, including the mix. I say, big up to all of the other engineers who assisted in the process. I say, but once again, like I said, the CEO knows exactly what the audience wants, and it clearly shows, when he puts thought into the type of music that he's putting out to the listening ear. Seems like is a very uplifting song. Is keep your eye on the prize. You know what I'm saying? That is the message that I get from that particular song. Tight song. What I say, definitely something, that warrants listening. It's another standout track for me on this particular body of music. Socks and Slippers is a song, that Chris had released as a single and then ultimately did a remix for this particular body of music. You know what I'm saying? featuring Candyman BK, who appears to be a hip hop artist. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure of his background, you know what I mean? But he's rapping on the track. They definitely complement each other on the track. Once again, production is A1, sonic quality of all of the songs on the album, in my opinion, you know what I mean, definitely are on the right frequency. Stronger, featuring Jamba HD7, is another song with a message. So, basically, giving the album some balance, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just a sexually driven album. It's not just geared towards the girls. It's also, covering a wide variety of topics. I didn't see Chris lean more towards, his social issue side, you know what I mean? Because, he has no means, no he has quite a few tracks, that are, geared towards, the social aspect of things and what's going on in society. But, I didn't see him incorporate any of those particular songs or those style songs on this particular album. Um, but it's still a well-rounded body of music. He ends the album with Memories. It's a ode, the vintage dancer, I mean, the back in the days type of nostalgic feel, I mean, it has the, traditional one drop rhythm and that, I mean, the lyrics are, paying homage to, the great singers of yesteryear and, and just some of the things that, used to happen, back in those days. Um, and that's the 14 tracks on this particular album. I mean, Project CEO. I feel like once again, like I said, it's a well-rounded body of music. I've had it on repeat for at least 3 days straight. You know what I'm saying? Not even just because of the fact that I'm actually reviewing the album, but because I genuinely like, you know, the vast majority of the songs that are on it. With Chris being the type of guy who, is very vocal when it comes to social issues. You know what I'm saying? I think that was the only thing that was missing from the album. Not necessarily sure if that was by design, when they were doing music selection for it, what I mean? But, outside of that, what I mean, I feel like I said once again, that it's a well rounded body of music. I would definitely recommend, that for the people who already know about Chris, this is definitely a good listen. For a, for the people who are looking forward to hearing something new, what I'm saying, from, not necessarily a new artist, but this is his first, body of music that he's putting out. So in that sense, it is definitely new. So to the people who are open to hear new music, you can't necessarily put it in one category. So I wouldn't go out on a limb and say that it's a reggae or dancehall album. It's fused by, a lot of different genres. You know what I'm saying? Which, has always been Chris's background. You know what I mean? And I feel like it embodies him as an artist. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a good listen. You know what I mean? A good stream, a good purchase. If I had to give it an overall score, you know what I'm saying, I would definitely say it's shooting for a 9, like, like a 8.9 for me, you know what I'm saying? Only because, like I said, I'm familiar with this artist's music, and, I just wish he would have at least had one song, touching on, some of the social issues, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, No Means No is one of his, songs that, he speaks directly to, the Me Too movement and things of that nature. And there's so much other things happening in the world right now that I know that this artist is willing, ready, and able to talk about. And that was the only thing that I seen missing from the album. You know what I'm saying? But overall, like I said, 8.9, low 9, like in them region, there for me. You know what I'm saying? Definitely a good body of music. You know what I mean? A good listen, a good stream, a good purchase. FICO Settings, overall settings, the podcast that differs. This is the album review for Project CEO, the CEO, Chris, the CEO, representing IWAD Music, the acronym for It Was All a Dream. That's it then. Do remember to subscribe to IWAD Music on all their musical platforms and download the album Project CEO. Subscribe to Overall Settings for all of your latest updates, news stories, movies, interviews, and things of that nature. Also, remember to subscribe to One Mermaid World. I should do the whole of the booking for that channel over here. And I don't know how it go. Any artist want a link up, any artist want a review, any artist want a reasoning, just link up the platform.